Listen, Steve, when you heard how we introduced what kind of a suspect we're dealing with here, he's a former Navy lieutenant. Barbara Starr just reported that he did military security on Iraqi oil platforms. He's got the rifle marksmanship ribbon, and he's a former LAPD officer. This is one hell of a manhunt.
In this editorial, I want to talk to you a little bit about Chris Dorner and the craziness that happened back in February. Before this happened, he was a respected member of society, an LAPD officer, and a decorated naval lieutenant with a top secret and a sensitive compartmented information clearance. And a hell of a commendable track record. National Defense Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Navy Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, Navy and Marine Corps Overseas Service Ribbon, Armed Forces Reserve Medal with an M device, Navy Marksmanship Ribbon, and Navy Expert Pistol Shot Medal. Like, come on, man. This ain't no regular guy. It seriously makes me want to ask what happened to this man that made him feel like he had no choice but to pick up a 50 cal rifle and say, fuck you and your family too. Well, apparently over his name is honor. Taking a bit to the extreme. It kind of reminds me of that scene in The Wire where Marlo snapped in the prison cell when he found out that Omar was talking shit.
Let him know Marlo stepped to any motherfucker, Omar, Barksdale, whoever. My name is my name.
I had a chance to sit down and read the manifesto. Quick disclaimer here, there are a lot of fake ones out there. Last I heard, there are about 11 versions of the document. To be frank, even after all that's said and done, we still don't know who wrote what. I'm not even sure if I read the right one. I'm sure you gentlemen know the rest of the story, but in case you don't, basically in the manifesto, he reported a Caucasian policewoman, an Officer Teresa Evans, for excessive force in kicking a schizophrenic civilian. After reporting the incident, he was then railroaded and fired by the LAPD. He then proceeded to make racist allegations and declared war on the LAPD officers and their families. He also mentioned an Officer Rolando Solano, who, when he was a rookie, watched his good old boys beat Rodney King to a pulp. If you were a citizen, they would call you an accomplice, but instead they make him a captain. And so the cops move heaven and earth trying to find his ass, set up a statewide manhunt, declare him a domestic terrorist, and in the process shoot 3 innocent people that barely fit the description, to the point where local citizens felt it was necessary to make it clear that they were not Dorner, do not shoot at them. During this entire ordeal, the LAPD behaved more like a street gang than peace officers. In the manifesto, Dorner said he wouldn't be taken alive. Well, it's clear as day that the establishment had no interest in taking Dorner alive. Why? I'm sure they had their reasons. But if I was to guess, putting an ex-LAPD officer with vendetta in a courtroom, well, he might start bringing up things that would make life a little bit difficult for the good old boys at LAPD. Eventually, after several days, Dorner was cornered at Big Bear in a cabin where San Bernardino police decided they would proceed with the burn.
All right, Steve, we're gonna go forward with the plan with the burn. Got it. I want it like we talked about. 7 burners deployed and we have a fire.
Copy, 7 burners deployed and we have a fire.
Which meant using extremely flammable tear gas to set a fire, even though San Bernardino had already stated that the fire was completely unintentional. Setting fire to the cabin where Dorner was hiding, instead of bringing him to justice, San Bernardino would rather burn him alive inside. Classic. Crooked police behaved like, well, crooked police. And to keep the naysayers from saying that he escaped, they confirmed that they had found a charred body, and they had also found his license and an adamantium wallet at the cabin to confirm him. Wait, wasn't his wallet and IDs and badge found by that shuttle bus driver? No, it wasn't. The wallet with the IDs were found at San Ysidro point of entry on the Mexican border. No, I'm fucking up. They found his wallet and IDs on the dock in San Diego where he tried to steal that boat. Them a lot of wallets. Well, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Another ex-LAPD officer, Michael Rufford, also talked about the good old boys club that was there while he was an officer of the LAPD.
However, with regard to his specific allegations about his case, and I'm currently reviewing legal documents that are becoming available online, I have to tell you that with regard to his allegations about a rigged trial board hearing and very egregious, unprofessional cover-up of excessive force, but also management, malfeasance, perjury, and a lot of other serious things, I believe him 100%. I do not think that the culture that existed in LAPD from the way back from the time when I was there up through Rodney King, I do not think it has been eliminated. I do believe there is a good old boy network there, and I believe that just with regards to that Chris Dorner was a victim.
The LAPD has a history of racism, corruption, and general fuckeryism that goes back almost 40 years. It's safe to say that their image is a bit more than tarnished. Which brings me to the point of the huge wave of support that Dorner received. Ironic, right? The LAPD is that fucked up, so much so where the public is rooting for a guy that killed innocent people. That should be a testament to how bad things have gotten. But there's a bigger issue at hand here, and that is the why. Why did Chris Dorner receive so much support? And it's a topic that the media lightly danced around, but it's a topic that I doubt they will ever address. The overwhelming resentment between the general public and the police. It's not just for niggers anymore, though people of color know better than most. This is an issue not just limited to the LAPD, this is a national problem. Police only serve and protect if you're in an upper middle class neighborhood, and sometimes not even then. The amount of people killed and brutalized under the guise of resisting arrest and necessary force is appalling. The abuse of power, the sociopathic behavior, and the carte blanche given to the badge by our legal system has given the police a no need for justification and less than zero accountability. Probably with the exception of rape, a police officer can do whatever he or she wants to do to you. And what's worse is that you have to let them. And I also want to state that not all law enforcement behave like this. I repeat, not all law enforcement behave like this. Not all police are bad, but the good ones are horribly overshadowed, and the good ones almost always stay quiet. Instead of being a public servant, some of them would rather have a us versus them kind of mentality, more interested in protecting one of their own. Which brings me to the bullshit of the blue line.
You know, in the code of blue, isn't this considered the ultimate betrayal? I mean, it goes without saying, but take me inside the force in terms of the level of betrayal that this is.
We rely on each other. We're brothers and sisters in blue. We depend on one another every day, every minute we wear that uniform. So this is the ultimate act of betrayal.
Or the Blue Code of Silence, which sounds extremely similar to the Baltimore Stop Snitching campaign of 2006, which was condemned by law enforcement and the media. So let me get this straight. You want us to inform our members of our own community for criminal activity, but when criminal activity is being done by law enforcement officials, you absolutely refuse to report or snitch on your counterparts for wrongdoing. So the state is basically telling us that it is your civic duty to snitch unless you got a shield. Fucking amazing.
Hey, Hammer, you can't talk about the police like that. I mean, they're just regular guys doing their fucking job. What's wrong with you?
Maybe, but when I see stuff like this...
Flashes of a deputy's gun as he runs after a suspect. This dramatic video, the basis of a lawsuit against the LA County Sheriff's Department. Surveillance cameras at the corner of Long Beach Boulevard and Josephine Avenue in Linwood captured the fatal shooting nearly 2 years ago. The video shows a squad car pulls up next to three men walking along the street. The deputy flashes a light at them. As he exits the car, 20-year-old Jonathan Cuevas starts running, and the deputy opens fire. We've frozen the video before it shows one final shot.
He fires 6 shots running towards Jonathan, and the 7th shot, he stands over Jonathan and shoots him right through the torso.
And this.
The pictures are graphic and disturbing. 34-year-old Michelle Jordan of Sunland, battered and bruised allegedly at the hands of 2 LAPD officers. The married mother of one who works as a registered nurse was pulled over last Tuesday on Foothill Boulevard and Saluda Street for a cell phone violation. She drove into this Del Taco parking lot, and what happened next was captured on the restaurant's surveillance camera. Watch as Jordan gets out of her vehicle. Moments later, she is slammed to the pavement and handcuffed. The officers pick her up, put her against the patrol car, and pat her down. About 1 minute and 40 seconds later, the 2 officers push her down to the ground a second time before pulling her up, putting her in the backseat of the cruiser, and citing her for resisting arrest.
It was October 22nd, 2010, 10:30 p.m. Ogogo, a college student with no criminal past, was drinking a beer in a paper bag while walking to a nearby nightclub.
His blood alcohol level was taken later on. It was 0.04, which is 1/2 of the legal limit for driving an automobile.
As soon as Ogogo begins to cross the street, 2 LAPD officers pull up in an unmarked car.
And one of them was like, "Hey, what you got in your hand?" Because, you know, well, it was in a brown paper bag, you know. One of the officers, you know, just runs up to me and put his hands on me and pushed me. I put my arm, you know, into the officer's chest and said, you know, stop. And then he was like, are you serious? And next thing you know, everything went south from there.
The video becomes grainy for a few seconds, then the security guard inside the nightclub zooms the camera in for a closer look, and during a struggle, Officer Robert Jenkins pulls his baton and strikes Ogogo on the back.
I never felt so much pain. My whole body just just went. It's like everything just went into shock.
Seconds later, both officers repeatedly punch Ogogo while he's on the ground. His feet can be seen jerking in response to the blows. Ogogo is put into handcuffs and is motionless on the ground when backup officers arrive.
They picked me up, you know, they threw me onto this fence, and then they slammed me down, you know, like head first, you know, and and it's the whole time they're doing it. The whole time they're doing it, I hear one officer keep punching me in my face. He's telling me, stop resisting arrest, stop resisting arrest, stop resisting arrest. And all I could say to myself was, I'm not resisting.
Oh, and who can forget this?
In anticipation, but I'm very happy. Very happy. I wish it was not guilty on all the counts.
Outside the courthouse, angry demonstrators gathered to protest, and some taunted the former defendants as they left to go home and celebrate. Ted Brasino was quickly hustled out to a waiting car and was escorted by Ventura County Sheriff deputies. Stacy Kuhn was surrounded by protesters as he and his lawyer made their way through the parking lot. Tim Wynn made a quick exit from a side door and had nothing to say to reporters. The same was true of the jurors who left aboard this bus to return home, marking the end of an ordeal that began more than a year ago and was captured on home video. It shocked much of the nation then, and so did the verdicts.
But of course, you wouldn't have a problem with that because they're just doing their job, right? All you have to do is look at Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Oakland, UC Davis, and any other random YouTube video of some schmuck on his camera phone, and the shit you see will shock you. But let me be clear. I do not support what Chris Dorner did. Fuck no, I don't support what Chris Dorner did. He killed innocent people, and he killed that pretty-ass light-skinned chick, too. Who the fuck would support that? Then had the audacity to write Anderson Cooper about a semi-automatic rifle ban, and you got a 50 cal rifle and a missile launcher? So not only are you a murderer, but you're also a hypocrite. That is, of course, if he actually wrote those letters. But either or, Chris Dorner's approach is not the right one. But people supported him because anyone stood up to the establishment. This should be a serious wake-up call for state legislators all over the country that something needs to be done to address the racism, corruption, and general fuckeryism that goes on the taxpayer dollar. Will it ever be addressed? I don't know. But for Americanized Africans, this is the problem that's been around since the Reconstruction era. But as the police become more and more militarized and these issues of overall fuckeryism are not addressed, it would not surprise me to see more things like this happen in the future. It would be nice to see the public and law enforcement work together, like in those small towns in the Midwest and in the Rockies. You know, the ones where everybody knows each other on a first-name basis. I'm sure they don't get on edge every time they see a squad car in their rearview mirror, or be expecting to be slammed into the ground or on the pavement or on the hood of their car because they stood up for themselves and asked for an officer's badge number because he mistreated me or disrespected me. It would be nice. Give him something to engrave in stone. Good day, gentlemen.
Nigga, gangsta rap.
You mentioned me in your manifesto, so thank you for your kind words. I am urging you to call me. Let's figure out together. Call me.
Fuck out of here with this bullshit. Follow me, fuckers.